So I caved and I got the new Chase Sapphire Reserve Business card because that sign-up bonus was way too good to pass up on. Plus, after having it for about a month now, I gotta say that this is a pretty underrated card. I recently got hit with a 200,000 point offer after spending $30,000 in your first 6 months of having the card. But here's the great thing about this card. There is no lifetime language on this card, meaning possibly you might be able to get multiple of these sign-up bonuses, just like many of the other Chase business cards. If you know me, I love churning Chase business cards, especially the ink cards. But now if the Chase Sapphire Reserve is joining that group, I can be potentially getting multiple of these 200,000 point sign-up bonuses in a single year. And that is going to be an extremely broken benefit. So after having the card for about a month now, let's get into my honest review about this card and its benefits, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing with those 200,000 points after I spend $30,000 on this card. I'm also going to be putting the main benefits versus the annual fee and see if we could reasonably profit off of this card. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to be doing an unboxing so you guys can see what you guys can expect if you guys get the business reserve card. Round 1, main benefits versus the annual fee. Now the annual fee for this card is a whopping $795, so let's see if the main benefits can reasonably beat that. Now just like before, one of the main benefits is going to be that $300 travel credit. This is a great travel credit because it's very flexible. Literally everything that you see in this section right here can count towards this credit and can trigger the credit. It's crazy, things like cruises, bus fares, Ubers, things like that, rideshare, anything, as long as it gets into these categories, that will trigger the $300 travel credit. Now you also get a $500 hotel credit when you book through the Edit collection in the Chase Travel Portal. It's split biannually from January to June, you get $250, and then from July to December, you get another $250. Now what's cool about these two singular credits alone, that already beats the annual fee of $795. You get $800 in value right here, and that means you profit $5 right off the bat if you manage to use these two benefits, which I love. I always love simplicity and being able to just use 2 credits to profit off the card. Now what's really cool is that you can actually mix these 2 credits together. So like, for example, you can do $300 plus a $250 hotel credit. That gives you $550 in hotel credits for 1/2 of the year. Or you can even do like 150 plus 250, 150 plus 250, like biannually if you like that. But that's really cool because you can actually book some really cool stays with $550. Now the question is the Edit collection even worth it? Is the price super inflated? Is it kind of a ripoff? Well, let's look at some examples and compare the actual prices that I found on the website. Let's look at the Fontainebleau in Vegas. It's one of my favorite casinos. I put just 2 random dates in the Edit collection. And with the Edit collection, just FYI, you do have to book a 2-night minimum stay to get all the benefits. So yeah, I just booked 2 nights at random dates, and that would cost us for those 2 nights $566.90. Now keep in mind, because it's booked through the Edit collection, we get $100 in food credits. We get free breakfast for 2 people per morning. That's up to $66. Free room upgrades if available, early check-in and late checkout. Basically the FHR program, but for Chase. Book that same room on Google or Expedia. We can actually see that it's a little higher for those dates, which is very interesting. But when you actually click to book on the website, you get a 20% discount that drops the fee for those 2 nights to $510. Plus, you get a $50 daily pool credit. So for 2 nights, that would be $100 in free food if you go to the pool. Just for simplicity's sake, let's say you're just going to use those credits for sure. I'm going to be subtracting the benefits or the credits that you get from each booking off the stay. The Edit collections booking costs you $566.90, but you get $100 in food credits and you get $132 in breakfast credits, assuming you stay for 2 nights, excluding the room upgrade because that's all luck-based, and late checkout, early check-in, that's all luck-based too. The effective rate booking is going to be $334.90, assuming you use all of the credits. Now the Google or Expedia booking is going to cost you $510, but if you exclude the $100 pool food credits, that would give you the effective rate of $410 for 2 nights. So assuming you like these credits and you eat breakfast every morning and you use that full $100, the Edit collection actually wins here by $75.10. But I mean, you are paying more for the Edit collection overall. So it is slightly inflated. So if you don't really care about those credits and you don't really, want to be forced to eat at the Fontainebleau basically, then Expedia or Google would actually be $56 cheaper. For me personally, I love the restaurants at Fontainebleau. They got amazing steak there. They got like a food hall. They have everything that you need there basically. So for me, paying that extra $56 would actually be 100% worth it for me. So yes, so far the edit collection is actually looking pretty reasonable, especially for Vegas, which I love going to. So I was actually a hater on this credit because I was like, oh man, like Chase is notorious for having inflated prices on their travel portal, but hey, if the travel portal matches what you could find on Google or Expedia, I'm all for it. Now, the Reserve Business Card also comes with access to the Sapphire Lounges, which are these really high-end luxury lounges, especially the ones in New York, I hear are amazing. But here's the problem with these lounges. They don't have that many of them. I think there's 9 eight in America and 1 in Hong Kong. They're rapidly expanding, which is great, but as for right now, if you live in like LA or kind of in the West Coast other than San Diego, you're kind of missing out on this benefit. But if you're in like Boston, New York, I think Philadelphia has one as well, you're good to go. This is definitely going to be a great benefit for you if you have a lounge there. I don't know what the ETA for LAX is, but I really hope that's going to be a great lounge because LAX is kind of lacking a good go-to lounge. Now you can also bring up to 2 guests with you whenever you access the lounge as the main primary card holder, which is going to be great because that means you can bring up to 3 people with you to these lounges. The Reserve Business Card also comes with complimentary Maple Leaf Lounge access whenever you fly Air Canada, and you can bring up to 1 free guest and Priority Pass lounges, which are just these small lounges all over the world, and you could bring 2 free guests with you to these Priority Pass lounges as well. Now, it's hard to put a dollar value on lounge access because it's so variable. It depends on how many times you use it. So I asked ChatGPT to solve this for me. I asked them for the average time that most people would use these lounges, like the average American citizen. And ChatGPT says you can generally see up to $240 of a dollar value for 2 people whenever you use these lounges, because it said that you're basically most likely going to be traveling with a partner. So I'll be adding $240 to the total, making the total $1,040 in actual value. Now, this card also comes with hotel status, IHG Premier Elite status. But here's the thing, I've had the IHG Premier card for around 4 years now, and not once has my Platinum Elite status gotten me an upgrade, early check-in, late checkout, nothing. And now it's even more accessible for everyone, right? So when everyone had a status with Platinum Elite, no one's going to have status. So this is, to me, not really going to be a benefit that I could put a dollar value amount on. So far, the total is still going to be $1,040. You actually get around $420 in DoorDash credits, $120 for the Dash Pass credit. This gets you free deliveries and lower fees. So you get $300 in DoorDash credits, but it's kind of like a discounted credit, not really like just a credit that you could subtract. So the way it works is that you get 2 grocery credits and you get $10 off those grocery purchases, and you get 1 $5 restaurant credit. That's going to be every month that you can kind of subtract from your total. For example, let's say you brought groceries for like $30 and you got them delivered. You can now subtract $10 from that $30, making it $20. And one thing I definitely tried to do with this is kind of game the system and try to get free groceries. So I try to get anything that's in that $10 range. But no matter what, I still had to pay something because of like fees and like taxes and things like that. So you could potentially get something for free, but it would have to be something very small. The closest I got to a zero balance with that $5 restaurant credit was just something I ordered from like a cafe. I got some boba for my wife, and then I got something that was like $4, and then it came out to be $2 for this boba for it to come delivered to me as well. So that was pretty good. I mean, that's basically free. I mean, $2 is something, but hey, for it to come to me and I just had to pay literally $2, I think that's a great benefit. So I will say that the DoorDash credit is actually pretty useful. I do like those credits actually. Once again, I was a hater on this credit, but hey, if I can get basically 0 on my purchases, that's still a credit that I'm going to be adding into the total. So $420, I'm definitely adding to the total. That would give us $1,460 in total value so far. Now we also get some basic credits here. You get $120 in Lyft credits. That's gonna be $10 monthly credited to you in your Lyft app. You get an interesting one. You get $100 in curated gift card credits biannually, $50 from January to June, and another $50 from July to December. And what's really cool about this gift card credit is that it actually comes with a DoorDash gift card. So you can actually use that with your Dash Pass membership and get even more value there. That's exactly what I did. And I bought a bunch of snacks for my employees. So that was a really cool, fun benefit to have. Now, for the two credits that I don't think most people would benefit off of, I own two businesses here in California, and I don't really care for these two benefits, to be honest. It's going to be $200 in Google Workspace. I don't really know what much you can get other than like Google Calls or Google Meets or something like that in like a specific website email, like fill a pack at yourcompanyname.com or something. That's what you can get for $200, I guess. You also get $400 in ZipRecruiter credits. So if you want to hire somebody, this is going to be biannually like the other credits, $200, half year like that. But yeah, I guess if you need to hire someone really quick, ZipRecruiter is a great option, but I personally have never used it, and I just kind of find my employees through word of mouth, to be honest. Now, I'd say the Google Workspace and ZipRecruiter credit will be pretty niche, and I don't see most people using that, so I won't be adding it to the total. But that gift card credit and the Lyft credit, that's an extra $220, making the total value so far $1,680, and that is officially now double the annual fee. Now, if you were to spend $120,000 in a single calendar year on the Chase Sapphire Reserve Business Card, you get $500 in credits for Shops by Chase, IHG Diamond status, A-list status for Southwest, and $500 in statement credits for Southwest flights. And I think that's pretty weak for $120,000 in spend. I mean, that's a lot of spend, man. And this doesn't give you that much benefit, in my opinion. Now, one thing that's kind of hard to put a number value on is going to be travel protections and retail protections. The Chase Sapphire Reserve Business and personal cards have the absolute best protections in the entire game by far. Better than Amex, better than Capital One, better than any other credit card company. This gives you things like rental car coverage, travel accident insurance, travel cancellation insurance, purchase protection. These can save you a lot of money if an airline cancels your flight last minute, or something happens on your trip and you have to cancel it, or like you bought something and you just want like to return it. Like, these are some great benefits to have, but it's hard to put a number value on this. So just for simplicity's sake, I will not be adding it to the total credits. So when it comes to the credits that everyone consistently uses, after everything from this card, I could see that $1,680 is going to be the true value. They say $2,500 on their website, but I'd say it's more like $1,680. So that is still double the annual fee. And these are some really cool benefits to have, really cool credits. And I think most people can benefit off of this. And this is assuming you don't use any protections, you don't get any room upgrades, which does happen pretty much with the edit. Well, at least with the Final Hotels and Resorts collection. I'm sure it's the same thing with the edit collection. That's assuming you don't get any, free comps or like late checkout. You could easily get 2,000 plus value if you get like a single room upgrade from any of your bookings. And not to mention the main benefit of all time with credit cards, it's gonna be transferring your points out to different partners. In this situation, World of Hyatt is gonna be the best option. With 200,000 points, I can easily get like $10,000, I'd say, of Hyatt stays when I book things like the Park Hyatt in like Kyoto or New York. These are some beautiful hotels, some of the highest end hotels I've ever stayed at, and they're very cheap on Hyatt. For example, like 40,000 points get you a stay at the Park Hyatt, and each night at the Park Hyatt is going to cost anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 in Kyoto. So with 200,000 points, you could book 5 of those nights, and that would give you anywhere from $10,000 all the way up to $12,000, $15,000 in value, which is absolutely insane. So far, I think this card is 100% worth it. I think the personal version is actually a little better than the business version, but actually scratch that. I think the business version is better simply because there's no lifetime language. And that right there is going to be amazing, because you can just cancel one card and get the next card and get the sign up bonus again, and you can just kind of churn the bonus. Now, the hard part is getting that $30,000 in spend, but in the next sections, I'll kind of go over how to hit that spend a little easier. So yeah, I'll make sure to put my referral link down for the 200,000 point offer. 200,000 points for Chase is going to be a lot of value. So if you can manage to hit that 30,000 in spend, I'll put my referral link down for you guys. Round 2, let's go over the new point multipliers. Now the card has faced a little bit of a devaluation in the points aspect in my opinion. It used to be 10 times points for hotels and car rentals when using the Chase Travel Portal, but now it's kind of like a catch-all 8 times points for hotels, airline, anything booked through the Chase Travel Portal will give you 8 times points. Now the reason I feel like this is a devaluation is because I don't think it's reasonable to use the Chase Travel Portal for flights because you get 0 benefits and the prices are usually inflated. So you really just use the travel portal for hotels because you get benefits. Yes, they're slightly inflated, but the amount of the benefits that you get outweigh the cost of the inflation. So, I mean, if they kept the 10 times points for hotels, that would just be better overall. But now it's 8 times points for hotels and basically just 8 times points for everything. So you can see like a 2 times point less multiplier there, which kind of sucks. They also got rid of that 3 times points for catch-all all travel. Remember that same travel category that was super lenient? That's unfortunately gone now, and I feel like that was one of the main draws for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So yeah, hope they bring that back. If not, I guess I can live with it, but it was nice to have something that could just give me 3 times points for anything considered like rideshare or cruise, things like that. So that's a bummer as well. Now you also get 5 times points on Lyft purchases, 4 times points on flights booked directly with airlines or hotel stays directly with the hotel program, 2 times points on social media advertising, and 1 times points for everything else. Now they also got rid of that 1.5 times points boost whenever you book through the Chase Travel Portal, and now it's like a variable points boost that can kind of be anywhere from 1.25 to 2 times points depending on the stay. So I think this is actually a benefit rather than a devaluation because now you can find hotels for up to 2 cents per point basically when you book through the Chase Travel Portal. That means those 200,000 points, for example, that you get from the sign-up bonus, if you just booked it purely off of hotels, will give you $4,000 in benefits. And most of the edit collection bookings has that points boost feature of up to 2 cents per point, which is great. So let's say your vacation costs you $1,000, you would only have to use 50,000 Chase points. So yes, on one end, I think the point multipliers got slightly devalued, but on the other end, I think the points boost now is even better than it was before, especially if you're like me and you're willing to go find a deal where you can find a 2.2 times multiplier. That's definitely going to be a lot better than 1.5 times points because like I said, like generally a vacation for me would cost $1,000 for like a 3-night stay or like a weekend somewhere in Vegas or something. So if I could use 50,000 points for that and get all those edit collection benefits, count me in. That's definitely something I'm going to be doing. So now let's go over my reasons for actually getting this card and the variables that will allow me to keep this card. Now, the main reason I got this card is because they kept emailing me about this promotion, 200,000 points after spending $30,000. Especially if there's no lifetime language for me, that is a no-brainer. That's why I chose this card over the personal card because I'm going to see if I can churn the sign-up bonus in the next year to come. Now, I know so many people in the comments are going to be saying, Phil, how the hell am I going to hit $30,000 in spend? And this is where I think the Built MasterCard comes in too, or just kind of using something like Melio where you can pay like, you know, your employees or any contractors that you have. So basically with Built, let's say, you could pay your rent with the Chase Sapphire Reserve card because you can actually connect your Reserve card to your Built app and pay through the app. They could send a check on your behalf, for example, to your landlord, and you would get like 1 times points. You would have to pay that 3% fee, but you would also get 0.5 points from Built. So that'd be a 1.5 times multiplier. So it kind of eats the fee a little bit by half, but that's a great way to hit your spend. For example, I spent $11,000 on rent every single month because I own around like 3 businesses here in Southern California. So me spending $11,000 every month, I could hit this sign-up bonus in around 3 months. But let's say yours would be like $3,000 in rent every month. Well, for the next 6 months, that would be $18,000. And just like on regular spend, like your food or travel expenses, you can definitely hit around like $12,000 in spend for that as well. You could even like, you know, cover some charges for your friends and have them pay you back. Hitting that $30,000 in spend isn't too hard. So no lifetime language means 2 things. 1, I could potentially have 2 Chase Sapphire Reserve business cards simultaneously at the same time, just like how I have 2 ink cards at the same time right now. And the second thing is I can get multiple sign-up bonuses, which I'm really going to try to do within the next 6 months. Chase has a rule where you can't open a business card within 30 days after you got approved for one. And because I want my relationship to be good with Chase, I'm going to probably try to sign up for another Chase Reserve business card in around, let's say, 4 months from now and see if I can hit that another $200,000 or 200,000 point bonus. So turning these reserve business cards potentially means that I can get 200,000 Chase points every 4 to 6 months, I'd say. And that's going to be a crazy benefit. That would be around 400,000 Chase points in a year, which gets me a ton of free travel. That could even pay for 2 annual fees for the card. So we're going to see if it works this year. If after I do this 2 or 3 tries and I keep getting rejected, I'm just going to assume that you most likely can't get 2 reserve business cards at the same time. But I feel like most likely they will be willing to. And yes, I will report to you in around 3 months or so whether or not I can churn these business cards, which would be amazing. If that's the case, man, you should definitely get this card because 200,000 points gets you a ton of value. And like mentioned earlier, the main benefits gives you literally double the annual fee amount. So I'll be profiting around $800 if I just use all those credits, which is a lot. $800 in credits is a really good amount, and I'm really happy about the benefits so far. I was a hater, but that was before I actually used the benefits. I think they're actually pretty solid. So overall, would I recommend this card? Well, I think it depends on 3 things for you. The one, can you realistically hit that minimum spend of $30,000 in 6 months? Do you have a Sapphire Lounge in your major airport, and are you planning to actually use it? Do you value the hotel credits and the delivery app credits and all the benefits that you see in that $1,680? If you said yes to around 2 out of 3 of these benefits, I'd still say yes, it's going to be worth it. If it's 3 out of 3 of these benefits, 100% I think that you should be getting it. Once again, if you're looking for that 200,000 point offer, I'll make sure to put my referral link down in the offer because it's giving that 200,000 point offer after spending $30,000 in 6 months. Now, let's get into the video of me getting the card about a month ago and opening up the reserve card just so you can see what you can expect when you get the card yourself. All right, so it comes in kind of like this foldable box like this, right? And yeah, I just opened up the beginning part. Ooh. Look at this, guys. That is pretty amazing. So fancy, so fancy. It's kind of like the platinum card, but like they stepped it up a notch because they know that Amex is like their biggest competitor. Welcome to the Chase Sapphire Reserve Business. Wow, I feel so honored, you know. For those who lead, I guess I'm a leader now. So it has this pull apart little thing where you can just kind of like, I guess, pull this out, and it says your card is now ready. Your card is ready to use. And I guess pretty nice card. Look at that. No information in the front. You guys don't have to see the back, but yeah, that looks pretty clean. It's metal as well. Wow, this is like some really fancy packaging. This is like a ring box almost, you know. Let's see, what else does it come with? You get this guide to the benefits section right here. Let's see this. Oh, it's a long page. You get all the cool, all the protection benefits, travel benefits right here. That's pretty cool. Rewards program agreement. Nice. So fancy. It's like a menu. It's like a Michelin star menu, you know. This is the Chase Sapphire Reserve business card. Pretty similar to the Chase Sapphire Reserve personal card, but yes, so far, look how much stuff they gave us just for like one little box, man. This is like the fanciest credit card opening I've ever had. Now, time to throw this away.